You left WWF in October '99 after your match against China at the No Mercy pay-per-view. We talked a little bit about this earlier where, of course, stories spread and you know how it is. It's like Chinese whispers and a lot of things are made out of it that it really wasn't. You were Intercontinental Champion at the time and your contract was actually expired the day before the match, if I got that right. Now, the words Jeff Jarrett held the WWF hostage for money is often a phrase that's loosely thrown around when this topic is brought up. And you've gone on record to share your side of things in the past, but would you be comfortable sharing a bit about what happened leading up to that departure?
Well, I just want to make sure we got our facts straight. So you're saying that I held them up? Was that with a knife or a gun? What was the actual hold up? How JP, I want to make sure that I'm hearing your version of the story because there's a lot of versions. So if I held Vince and company up, how was that?
Exactly. No, I'm just using the words. Things get made out to be what it's not.
That was a very sarcastic remark by me because the insanity that goes with that.
Yeah.
The amount of times that I've told the story, holding up Vince McMahon or holding up the WWF at the time is, like I said earlier, never, ever let the facts get in the way of a good story. And that's something that I truly, and I mean this sincerely, it's something that I love about the wrestling business, the entertainment, is that, the fans, we can live vicariously. And whether they want to be presented with the facts, that's irrelevant. They want to see the story the way they want to see it. And that makes for good storytelling. So, but no, it was pretty simple that, there's a lot of backstory. And like you said, I returned there in '97 and it was, however you want to say it, bounced around. And then at the end of '99, when the contract was coming to a close, there had been a lot of things that had gone down in those last 2 years. My wife was sick, a lot of ups and downs. Basically, you can say that from a creative perspective. But, I'm a guy who grew up in the business. I completely understand that it's a business first and foremost. And if you don't really view it as a business, then you already put yourself behind the eight ball. So, with all due respect, you have to do what's best for Jeff and his family. But you also have to keep in mind that Vince completely believes that and rightly so. He has to do what's best for the WWE. So the contract was, coming to a close, and you can say I don't. It's not that I didn't like their offer. I didn't agree with it. I thought that I could make more money, and I did quite a bit more. So it was time for me to move on. I knew that from a contractual point of view. And to Vince's defense, at that time, he was taking his company public, and for about 90 days, which was the real nuts and bolts of my negotiating period, he was literally flying around the world, legitimately flying around the world. And that's what you do when you take a company public. You have to talk to investment banks. It's obviously it's a massive, massive undertaking. So he wasn't around a lot other than Raw and SmackDown at the time. So, he would leave SmackDown and then go again on another meeting to take his company public. So, and it's been documented. JR was heading up negotiations, and he did what he thought was best for the WWE, and I did what I thought was best for Jeff, and they didn't meet. And so I took my talents elsewhere, as they say, and went on and again went to WCW, and that's there's not a lot of sizzle in that. It's pretty much steak, meat and potatoes. I didn't like their offer. They didn't come up, and I went elsewhere.
Oh yeah!